Hello friends, thanks so much for being with us today. I am so glad you're here because I'm very excited to share with you some tips for fabulous lips. And by the way, it's not your imagination. As we get a little bit older, our lips do get smaller and paler. But luckily, there's some things we can do to make our lips look fabulous again. So if you're 50, over 60, 70, or beyond, I'm so glad you're here with us today for these special tips that apply directly to us. If you're new to our channel, I want to welcome you. My name is Elise. I'm a professional working makeup artist whose passion is helping those of us who are 50 plus look on the outside how we feel on the inside so we can look and feel our confident best. And if you're also new to this channel, I hope you'll join us and subscribe, become a family member on our YouTube channel. I do create new videos every Thursday. And if you hit that bell icon, which is below the video and to the right, you'll be notified every time a new video is available. And if you choose to subscribe, I thank you so much in advance. I appreciate it. Now, there's some fascinating research that applies to our lips, and what it says, the conclusions of this research were that we can look our attractive best by increasing our facial contrast. Well, because our lips get paler as we get older, we lose even more facial contrast as we get older. So the good news is if we up that contrast, if we wear brighter, lighter colors, we can improve the look of our lips. So let's get into the 5 tips right now. And this first one may not apply to all of you. So if it doesn't apply to you, I hope you'll stay with us because I think you'll find the remaining tips valuable. But this first tip deals with those of us who have issues with lipstick migrating into those fine lines around our lips. Now, some of us may have smoked, some of us may have used straws, or some of us may just have developed this issue of fine lines, which I certainly have. And if you have, there are some solutions to prevent that migration of lipstick into those fine lines. First of all, the first thing you can do is to put some concealer around the edge of your lips. That will create a barrier to that lipstick migrating. What I'm going to do is stretch my lips out so I can fill in any fine lines around there. I'm just going to put this particular concealer, and by the way, for those of you who would like to know, this is Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit of this around the bottom and top of my lip line. And then I'm going to blend it in. And by blending in carefully, it's going to fill in those fine lines. Now, I have found that there's also one more step that can prove very valuable to those of us with this issue, and that is to use something that a lot of makeup lines carry. It is a sort of a waxy quality pencil. This particular one I love. It's from e.l.f. Cosmetics, and it's called their Lip Lock Crayon. And if you know the e.l.f. Cosmetics brand, you know that it is a drugstore brand, so it's a lot less expensive than what you would find on in other makeup lines. This particular lip lock crayon is only $3, so it's an amazing bargain. I, however, have not been able to find it at brick and mortar stores. I've only been able to get it by ordering it online. Now, maybe you'll be a little luckier and find it in a brick and mortar store near you, but I have just ordered it, and I order several at one time because I tend to go through this pretty quickly. So this is what it looks like, and as you can see, it's a white looking waxy quality. Now, the reason I put this on after the concealer is that if I put this lip lock crayon on first, it would literally show a white line around my lips. So by putting the concealer on first, this lip lock crayon will blend in more easily, so you do not see a white line around my lips. So this is the second thing I'm going to use as a barrier to that lipstick migrating. And I'm going to apply it right now. Excuse me for looking down, but I definitely have to look into a magnifying mirror. I'm sure some of you can probably relate to that. Okay, so we now have a second barrier on here. All right, moving on to the second tip. One of the most important things we can do is to help our lips look larger because, as I mentioned, our lips get smaller as we get a little older. And don't we wish a few other things got smaller? Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to happen. But what we can do is take care of some things relating to our lips to help them look larger. The first thing we can do is choose the right color lipstick. Dark colors, as we know from art classes in our past, make things recede and look smaller. So if we walk into a dark colored room, for instance, it looks smaller than if we were to walk into that same room that was painted white or a lighter color. So dark colors will make our lips actually look smaller. And also, if we wear a matte lipstick, which does not reflect light, it absorbs light, that matte lipstick can make our lips look smaller as well. So by choosing the right color, which is lighter or brighter than a dark lipstick, we can make our lips look larger. And we can also, the second thing we can do to make our lips look larger is to use a lip liner. And a lip liner that either matches the lip color that we're going to be wearing or a neutral lip liner also works very well. Now, when I say lip liner, I know some of you may think of that look from the 80s, which was sort of an overdrawn lip liner look where you could actually see the lip liner, and that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about lip liner that really just helps make our lips look a little larger and also helps to create a barrier to help prevent lipstick from migrating. So I'm going to use this particular lip liner. This is a Revlon Color Stay lip liner in the color Wine. Because I have a cool undertone to my skin, I tend to wear colors like wine colors or pinks or raspberry colors. And one of the great things about this particular lip liner and other lip liners that you find from the drugstore is that they can work probably just as well as more higher end product lip liners. So that's the good news. You really don't have to spend a lot of money to get a lip liner that will work really well for you. So I'm going to take a moment and apply this lip liner. Now, the important thing to make your lips look larger is to not overdraw the lip line, but to put it on the very outer edge of your lip line. If you want to make your lips look smaller, most of us don't have that problem, but then you would put it on the inner edge of your lip line. Now, I happen to have a large upper lip, which I do want to make look a little smaller, and I want to make my bottom lip look a little larger. So I'm going to put the lip liner around the inner edge of my upper lip to make it look slightly smaller, and around the outer edge of my bottom lip. So let me do that real quickly. Okay, and the good news is if you don't do it as carefully as you would like, and I didn't actually that time around, I'm going to take a little concealer and just sort of cover up that area where I went a little outside the area where I wanted to go. Okay, so I've put a lip liner to help hopefully make my bottom lip look larger, my top lip look a little smaller. The next tip we want to think about is choosing the right lipstick color. And many of us have sort of gotten set in the color that we are used to, and it's somewhat hard to sometimes go outside our comfort zone. We're used to seeing ourselves in a certain color, in a certain look, and changing that can sometimes be a little disconcerting. But open our eyes to finding a color that really works and makes our skin look radiant can make a huge difference. I was working with a woman just a few weeks ago, and we were at the end of the consultation and we were going to focus on lipstick color, and she said, well, I can just pull my own lipstick out, which she did, and I looked at it and I realized that it was pretty dark and it didn't quite work with her skin undertone. So I asked her if we could try a little bit different color just for the fun of it, to play with it. And she put it on and didn't say anything for a few seconds, looked very closely into the mirror and said, oh my gosh, I can't believe what a difference that makes. It brightened up, it lightened her whole face, made her skin come alive. It was an incredible difference. She went from a dark color, she had a warm undertone, and she went to sort of a peachy, bright, light color. It was gorgeous on her. So finding our skin undertone makes a huge difference. That is the most important thing we can do to really give our face lightness and brightness and really make us look our radiant best. So if you are not quite sure of what your skin undertone is, and it will either be a cool undertone, a warm undertone, or a neutral undertone, I hope you'll check out the video that I did a few weeks back that's about finding what your skin undertone is. And I provided 9 different tips that you could take a look at to determine what your skin undertone is. And I have put a link to that video in the description box below if you'd like to take a look at it. And I think those tips will help you if you're unsure. So I definitely have a cool undertone to my skin, which means the colors that work great are pinks or raspberries or blue reds. If you have a warm undertone, you'll look absolutely great in peaches or tangerines or corals or orange. And if you have a neutral undertone, which basically means you're an equal combination of cool and warm, then you can go either direction. You can wear corals, you can wear pinks. However, usually for most people with a neutral undertone, it's best if they stick with a color that is sort of not on the farthest spectrum of the cool or warm tone. In other words, not with a really bright, bright orange or not with a really bright, bright pink, but somewhere a little bit softer or lighter than that. So finding that skin undertone is so crucial. Our skin does get paler, but our skin undertone never does change. So the next tip we want to talk about is choosing a lipstick formulation. And this is really key because, as I mentioned earlier, matte lipsticks absorb light and they make our lips look smaller, whereas a luminous formulation to your lipstick pushes out light and really makes our lips look brighter and lighter, and let's face it, more youthful. So finding a formulation that's either a pearlescent quality or more of a satin quality can really make our lips look their best. However, and this is a big however, if you do have problems with that lipstick migrating into fine lines, you will want to go a slightly different route. So what I suggest for you, and frankly this is what I have to do, is to start with a matte lipstick, because a matte lipstick formulation is less likely to migrate outside of your lip line, whereas a formulation that has some brightness or lightness to it, that kind of formulation does have a tendency to migrate a little bit more easily. So I am going to next put in, after the lip liner, I am going to put a matte color on my lips. However, I still want that light, bright quality. So what I will do is I'll take a lighter color lipstick that has some luminosity to it and put that over the matte lip color, but I will not go to the very outer edge of my lips. I will stop just slightly short of the outer edge of my lips, and that way the matte lipstick will still be on the very outer edge of my lips and won't migrate. But I'll still get the added luminosity of the lighter color on top of it. So first of all, I'm going to take the matte lipstick And as you can see, that is very flat looking. It absorbs light. It doesn't add brightness to my lip area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a brighter, more luminous lipstick. And this is one, by the way, that unfortunately is no longer available. It's been discontinued, but there are some websites where you can find discontinued lipsticks. This happens to be a NYX lipstick, Glam Lipstick Aqua Luxe in Pink Jewel. So let me put that on. Now, as you can see, I've just put that Pink Jewel, more luminous color on the bottom lip. I have not put it on the top, and I think you can see the difference in how much light there is on the bottom part of my lip as opposed to the top lip. So let me put it now on the top lip as well. Okay, so now I have that more luminous lipstick on top of the matte lipstick. And the next step is to add even more luminosity by perhaps adding a gloss. Now, glosses can be a bit tricky. Some of them can be sticky. Some of them maybe they don't feel real comfortable on your lips, but there are a lot of good ones out there. I've particularly chosen a metallic lip gloss, which I think has particularly good shine, and unfortunately this one has been discontinued as well. It's a CoverGirl Lip Lava. And I'm going to put a little bit of this on. And I think you can see that that added even more brightness to my lip area. And by the way, for those of you who might be interested, this matte lipstick that I first applied, that was a special edition lipstick by Patrick Starr through MAC. So unfortunately, that's not available either anymore. So I hope these tips are helpful to you, and if they are, I hope you'll give this video a thumbs up. And if you know of anyone else who might find these tips helpful, please, I encourage you to share this video if they would find it useful. And I would love it if you would include in the comment section below what your skin undertone is, and if you found an absolutely wonderful lipstick that works well with your particular skin undertone, please let us know the brand and the name of the lipstick. That will be a huge help to others as they try and find a lip color that works particularly well with their skin undertone. I thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate your time with us. I hope you'll join us next Thursday for another video. And in the meantime, I hope you'll stay healthy and happy and have a fabulous rest of your day. Thanks so much.